Bank on. To rely on or depend heavily on a particular economic outcome. Synonym for. Bank on. Depend on, rely on, count on, trust in, lean on, bet on. Small businesses often bank on holiday sales to boost their annual revenue. The investors were banking on a rebound in the housing market to generate profits. Investors often bank on stable economic conditions for profitable returns. Cashing on. To take advantage of an economic opportunity for financial gain. Synonym for. Cashing on. Exploit, profit from, benefit from, take advantage of, capitalize on, monetize. Entrepreneurs look to cash in on emerging trends in the market. Entrepreneurs aim to cash in on the growing demand for eco-friendly products by launching sustainable brands. Real estate developers sought to cash in on the booming housing market by building luxury condominiums. Trickle down. To describe the economic theory that benefits provided to the wealthy will eventually benefit the entire society. Synonym for. Trickle down. Diffuse, filter down, spread out, percolate, radiate, disseminate. Advocates of supply-side economics argue that tax cuts for the wealthy will eventually trickle down to benefit everyone. The government implemented policies hoping that economic growth would trickle down to lower-income households. The government's tax policies aim to stimulate the economy and let the benefits trickle down to all citizens. Bankroll. To financially support or fund an economic venture. Synonym for. Bankroll. Finance, fund, sponsor, back, support, subsidize. Venture capitalists often bankroll startups with high growth potential. The billionaire philanthropist decided to bankroll the construction of a new hospital in the underserved community. Venture capitalists agreed to bankroll the startup's expansion plans in exchange for equity. Hold back. To restrain or limit economic growth or progress. Synonym for. Hold back. Restrain, inhibit, hinder, suppress, check, control. The uncertainty surrounding the trade agreement held back investment in the region. High inflation rates can hold back economic growth by reducing consumer purchasing power. High interest rates can hold back investment and economic expansion. Rev up. To increase the speed or activity level of economic growth. Synonym for. Rev up. Accelerate, boost, ramp up, speed up, intensify, energize. The government implemented stimulus measures to rev up economic activity during the recession. The central bank decided to lower interest rates to rev up borrowing and spending. The new infrastructure projects are expected to rev up the economy. Channel into. To direct resources or funds toward a particular economic sector. Synonym for. Channel into. Direct into, funnel into, route into, guide into, lead into, divert into. The company planned to channel resources into research and development to innovate new products. The government aimed to channel investment into renewable energy projects to reduce carbon emissions. The government plans to channel more funds into renewable energy initiatives. Tie up with. To form a partnership or alliance for economic collaboration. Synonym for. Tie up with. Partner with, collaborate with, ally with, associate with, join forces with, team up with. The university tied up with industry partners to fund research projects and promote innovation. The tech startup decided to tie up with a larger corporation to access its distribution network. The two companies decided to tie up with each other to expand their market reach. Squeeze out. To force out competitors or eliminate inefficiencies in an economic system. Synonym for. Squeeze out. Eliminate, oust, force out, expel, drive out, remove. The aggressive pricing strategy aimed to squeeze out competitors from the market. Efficiency measures were introduced to squeeze out wasteful spending and improve profitability. Aggressive pricing strategies can squeeze out smaller businesses. Bubble up. To describe economic growth or activity that starts at a lower level and moves upward. Synonym for. Bubble up. Rise, surface, emergence, upwelling, emerge, spring up. Economic opportunities often bubble up from grassroots initiatives within local communities. Innovation and entrepreneurship can bubble up from unexpected places, driving economic growth. Economic prosperity often bubbles up from local businesses to the national level. Bottom out. To reach the lowest point in an economic downturn before starting to improve. Synonym for. Bottom out. Reach the nadir, hit rock bottom, plummet, decline, deteriorate, slump. The housing market appears to have bottomed out, and prices are expected to rise. After months of recession, the economy finally bottomed out, signaling a potential recovery. Real estate prices have bottomed out, prompting investors to consider buying properties at discounted rates. Cash out. To sell an investment or exit a position to realize gains or losses. Synonym for. Cash out. Sell off, liquidate, dispose of, convert into cash, realize gains, monetize. The entrepreneur decided to cash out his shares in the company after it went public. Investors cashed out their positions in the stock market ahead of an anticipated downturn. Investors may choose to cash out their stocks when the market is high. Pull back. To reduce or withdraw economic investments or involvement. Synonym for. Pull back. Withdraw, retract, draw back, remove, recede, scale back. Companies may pull back on expansion plans during economic uncertainty. Faced with uncertain market conditions, the company decided to pull back its expansion plans. The central bank announced it would pull back on quantitative easing measures as the economy stabilized. Narrow down. To focus on specific economic issues or solutions. Synonym for. Narrow down. Focus, concentrate, reduce, limit, refine, streamline. Economists are working to narrow down the factors contributing to inflation. The economic research team needed to narrow down their focus to specific industries for their study. As the project progressed, the policymakers narrowed down their options for addressing the budget deficit. Hedge against. To take measures to protect against potential economic risks. Synonym for. Hedge against. Safeguard against, protect against, shield against, insure against, guard against, buffer against. Businesses hedge against currency fluctuations by entering into forward contracts to fix exchange rates. Investors often hedge against inflation by diversifying their portfolios with assets like commodities or real estate. Investors often hedge against currency fluctuations by diversifying their portfolios. Brush up on. To review or refresh one's knowledge of a subject. Synonym for. Brush up on. Review, refresh, revise, polish, revisit, relearn. The economists decided to brush up on macroeconomic theory to better understand current trends. Before the meeting, the finance team brushed up on the latest economic indicators to be well prepared. I need to brush up on my math skills before the exam. Catch up on. To make up for missed or incomplete work or study. Synonym for. Catch up on. Make up, cover, retrieve, recap, reclaim, regain. I had to catch up on the readings I missed during the conference. After being out sick, the student needed to catch up on missed lectures and assignments. The business owner worked overtime to catch up on backlog orders during the busy season. Drop out of. To leave school or a course before completing it. Synonym for. Drop out of. Quit, abandon, withdraw from, leave, opt out of, resign from. Unfortunately, many students drop out of college due to financial issues. Some investors chose to drop out of the stock market when prices started plummeting. Despite initial enthusiasm, many students drop out of college due to financial constraints. Look into. To investigate or examine a subject or issue. Synonym for. Look into. Investigate, examine, probe, explore, delve into, research. The government agency promised to look into allegations of market manipulation by major corporations. The teacher encouraged the students to look into different research topics. The research team was tasked with looking into the impact of automation on employment rates. Fall behind. To lag in progress compared to others. Synonym for. Fall behind. Lag behind, trail behind, drop back, retard, slow down, dally. Without adequate investment in infrastructure, the country risks falling behind in global competitiveness. If you miss too many classes, you may fall behind in your studies. Students who regularly miss classes often fall behind their peers in academic performance. Gear up for. To prepare or get ready for a particular event or challenge. Synonym for. Gear up for. Prepare for, get ready for, brace for, equip for, ready oneself for, steel oneself for. The students are gearing up for the final exams. Small businesses gear up for the holiday season by increasing inventory and hiring seasonal staff. The manufacturing plant geared up for higher production volumes to meet increased demand. Set aside. To allocate time or resources for a specific purpose, such as studying. Synonym for. Set aside. Allocate, reserve, dedicate, assign, allot, earmark. The government decided to set aside funds for infrastructure development in rural areas. The student disciplined herself to set aside time each day for studying economics. It's essential to set aside time each day for homework. Team up with. To collaborate or work together with others. Synonym for. Team up with. Collaborate with, partner with, join forces with, work together with, ally with, unite with. Students often team up with classmates for group projects. The startup decided to team up with a larger corporation to access its distribution network. Researchers from different universities teamed up with industry experts to collaborate on a groundbreaking study. Narrow down. To focus on specific topics or options. Synonym for. Narrow down. Focus, reduce, limit, refine, streamline, condense. The committee needed to narrow down the list of candidates for the economic advisor position. The professor helped the students narrow down their research topics. The Economic Summit aimed to narrow down potential policy solutions for addressing income inequality. Go over. To review or examine in detail. Synonym for. Go over. Review, examine, study, analyze, scrutinize, inspect. Let's go over the details of the project one more time to make sure we're all on the same page. Let's go over the key concepts from the last lecture. The teacher asked the students to go over their notes before the exam to ensure they understood the material. Bring up. To mention or introduce a topic in a discussion or class. Synonym for. Bring up. Raise, introduce, mention, broach, initiate, start. I wanted to bring up the idea of implementing a recycling program in our office. During the meeting, Sarah brought up the issue of increasing employee benefits. The teacher brought up the importance of critical thinking in the lesson. Check off. To mark or indicate completion of a task or assignment. Synonym for. Check off. Mark off, tick off, cross off, complete, finish, verify. As I completed each task, I checked it off my to-do list to track my progress. I can finally check off all the items on my to-do list for this semester. After finishing the assignment, I checked off each requirement to ensure I hadn't missed anything. Hand in. To submit or turn in an assignment or project. Synonym for. Hand in. Submit, turn in, deliver, present, provide, furnish. Don't forget to hand in your permission slip for the field trip tomorrow. Students are required to hand in their essays by the end of the week. Make sure to hand in your essays by the deadline. Pick up on. To quickly learn or understand a concept. Synonym for. Pick up on. grasp, understand, comprehend, catch on, to get, absorb. The students were encouraged to pick up on the subtle nuances of the text during the literature class. Some students pick up on new languages more easily than others. John has a talent for picking up on new software programs quickly. Dropping on. To visit a class or meeting without prior arrangement. Synonym 4. Dropping on. Visit, stop by, popping on, pay a visit, to swing by, calling on. I might drop in on the lecture if I have some free time. I decided to drop in on the seminar to see if it was worth attending regularly. Feel free to drop in on my office anytime if you have questions or need assistance. Write up. To compose or complete a written assignment. Synonym 4. Write up. Compose, document, draft, record, transcribe, chronicle. I need to write up a summary of the meeting and distribute it to the team members. The students were given a week to write up their research findings. After conducting the experiment, the scientist wrote up the results for publication. You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.